I'm fabianvhv, and we're here to cook some dishes for you from our cookbook, very serious cookbook.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah. I'm the partner in Wildair and Contra. Do a couple dishes that are pretty easy to do at home and that we also serve in our restaurant. You guys are very familiar with raw beef dishes. We do a dish that is kind of a riff on tartare. But normally tartare in beef tartare in France, it's a French dish, is ground, but sometimes it's hand cut. So we like to do it hand cut. Cut it into flat pieces like this, and then we cut it into strips and then into a dice. We mix the two. One has a little bit more fat and one's a little bit leaner. Traditionally, beef tartare is it's raw beef and then it's mixed with a number of ingredients. So sometimes you have onions, you have Worcestershire sauce or mayonnaise and mustard. Sometimes it's served on the side and you mix it yourself, and sometimes it's already mixed in. And the tartare that we're making, everything in the restaurant is a bit more creative, a little bit more interesting. So this dish is not traditional by any means. So we have the beef here, and what I'm going to add is just some sea salt, a little bit of black pepper, and just incorporate the salt and pepper first. And this is a bit of pimenton oil. Pimenton is a Spanish style sweet and smoky paprika. So this is going to give it this smoky kind of flavor, almost barbecue-like. So this is the fat element that we're introducing. And then I'm going to add the pickled shallot in with the red wine vinegar. It's pretty simple, and then we put the flavorful things on top. We make it very flat, so that way everything that we put on top has an even amount distributed. So this is a microplane, it's a grater, and we use this for 3 different things that we put on top of the tartare. And the horseradish gives a little bit of spice, obviously. Next, we're gonna put some smoked cheddar. So we use a mature, and this is adding, the pimenton already adds a little bit of a smoky kind of flavor, but this also adds some smoke to it and some fat to the dish. This is buckwheat, and we cook it in a little bit of butter just so it becomes crunchy. And we use a lot of herbs and green items in the food because we like to have some refreshing flavors, some bitterness. So this is chervil. Chervil is something that we use often in our cooking. When it's in season, we use chestnuts, just raw. Otherwise, we use a nut like Brazil nut. Chestnuts, what we're using today. And then we just finish it with a little bit of olive oil, some more larger crystal flaky sea salt. And so you have your meat, and then the elements of spice and fat and saltiness are kind of more on top. And then when we serve the dish, then the guests kind of mix it up a little bit. But it's a little bit of a cleaner, healthier take on a dish. And next we're gonna make the little gem lettuce. So we just clean them, we rinse them. Take the gem lettuce and we remove it comes a little bit more full, and we remove some of the outer leaves like this. And we're gonna make a dressing out of these leaves actually. So the dressing ends up being this green paste, some butter. This is a mountain of butter, and we utilize butter as a form of the fat in the dressing. We make a salad that has this butter it's emulsified, so we keep it cold. So this is taking some time to get warm, but normally we cook all the leaves until they wilt, and it's sautéed. And then we're gonna blend that with some pistachio and butter. We season it with lemon juice and salt. These little gems, we cut them in half. We just kind of clean it up a little bit. What we do is a little bit of lemon juice and a little bit of salt. And then this dressing is we kind of drizzle it on top of the lettuce. So, and this is a dish with a lot of fresh herbs. So we use a mix of chervil, some dill, some chives. And this is crushed pistachios, and this gives it the texture that we're looking for. And this is the little gem salad, and we just finish it a little bit more lemon juice at the end. So the food, you know, this is like sometimes people eat it with their hand. It's a salad, but people eat it with their hand, or they'll cut it up, and they kind of. Both of the dishes are things that you know, in our restaurant it's like a wine bar. So people are passing around dishes, they're sharing it, they're having wine. And it's not so, you know, precious. It's more fun. And make the puree.
So we're gonna do the chocolate tart. So this is one of the desserts that's been a while there since we opened. It's just very simple. It's equal parts cream and milk. And then so basically we're gonna bring this to a boil, and then we're gonna mix it with a little bit of the chocolate and some butter. Okay, so once it comes to a boil, we're just gonna add a little bit of gelatin. And then, so this tart is a little different than your usual tart because we assemble it together at the last minute. So the shell stays crispy, the cream is very fresh and light. So this is hazelnut chocolate, and you just want to break it into little pieces so it's easier to melt into the cream. It's just easier to incorporate once it's smaller. So you want to just whisk it in, and you see how it starts to melt. Once it starts to melt, you can add a little bit of the butter as well. So this, just like the gem dressing, the butter, it's gonna cool down, and it's gonna set the cream into like a much thicker thing. And so a lot of people use different like gelatins, like seaweed-based gelatins, just to thicken products. And I think we use butter a lot because it has this natural like chewiness. It makes liquids become solid, and it's like quite pleasant. You know, I think it brings like a little bit of fat, and it brings out more the flavor of especially because we use like a nutty chocolate. So we really want that nuttiness and buttery flavor to come through. So once it's all put together, we would just put it in the fridge overnight, just to let the gelatin and the butter set. And so this is what the finished product looks like. And then the next thing that goes on this dish is we make this paste with caramelized hazelnuts and these like thin crepes called fouilletine. They're just crepes that get cooked and dried. Instead of doing like a normal tart, we make these little thin sheets. And this is very helpful because you know, people don't have to worry about shaping tarts. It's just very easy, and it just makes it look like a little simpler. You just flatten it. And then so once you go in, you'll break the shell and then just get a little bit of everything. So that's it, that's how we make the tart. Okay, so Contra is a tasting menu restaurant. So we have a Michelin star there. The food is very subtle and it's very simple. It's all about the produce. And Wildair is more of a, you know, it's a natural wine bar. It's a lot of fun. It's loud. The plates are small and they're meant to be shared.